Welcome everyone. Today, we're embarking on a journey to explore one of Earth's most majestic and iconic features, El Capitan. Rising an astounding 3,000 feet, or about 900 meters, from the floor of Yosemite Valley, El Capitan stands as a granite monolith truly without equal. It's not just a geological marvel, formed 100 million years ago, but also a profound muse that captivated the romantics of the 19th century, and today, it serves as the ultimate vertical arena for the modern world's most daring climbers. This presentation will trace the incredible arc of what climbers affectionately call the Capitan, from its fiery beginnings as molten rock, through its artistic interpretations, and all the way to the 2025 climbing records that continue to redefine what's humanly possible on its sheer face. To truly appreciate El Capitan, we must first understand the geological forces that shaped it. Our story begins approximately 100 million years ago, as the Farallon Plate relentlessly subducted beneath the North American continent. This immense pressure and friction caused magma to rise through the Earth's crust, much like oil rising in salad dressing, but on a colossal scale. These rising blobs of molten rock cooled incredibly slowly, deep underground, solidifying into what we call plutons, essentially massive bodies of granite. Over eons, glacial erosion acted like a giant sculptor, stripping away the softer, surrounding rock. This painstaking process gradually revealed the hardened granite core, exposing the magnificent monolith we see today. So, El Capitan is not just a mountain, it's a window into Earth's ancient past, sculpted by fire and ice. El Capitan might appear to be a single, imposing rock, but its vertical geography is far more complex. It's actually a fascinating interaction of various intrusive rock suites. The primary face is composed of what geologists call El Capitan granite, recognizable by its distinct salt and pepper-speckled appearance. However, if you look closely at the southeast face, you'll notice a darker section. This is known as the diorite of North America, a younger, darker rock that intruded into the older granite. Unlike sedimentary rock, El Capitan lacks distinct layers. Its extraordinary verticality is maintained by a process called exfoliation. Think of it like an onion. Outer layers of rock peel away due to pressure release, leaving behind those incredibly smooth, joint-free sheets that define its iconic face. Moving from geology to art, El Capitan became a powerful subject for artists, particularly during the Romantic era. Here, we see an analysis of Bierstadt's painting, commissioned for $25,000 in 1867, a princely sum at the time. Bierstadt, in an effort to create a three-dimensional effect, actually viewed the valley from a high balcony. However, he famously took artistic license with the landscape. To evoke a deeply spiritual and awe-inspiring experience, he dramatically compressed the valley's width. This distortion had a profound effect, making the rock formations appear to soar even higher, creating a sense of grandeur that mimicked the architecture of a medieval cathedral. You can see the clear difference when comparing Bierstadt's painted profile to the actual profile of the valley, showcasing his deliberate exaggeration for emotional impact. While painters like Bierstadt romanticized the sheer scale of the landscape, photographers, with their unique lens, sought to capture something different: the silence of light. In the 1860s, early stereoscopic images, such as those by Carleton Watkins, offered an immersive, almost three-dimensional view of Yosemite. These powerful visual records played a crucial role in inspiring President Abraham Lincoln's 1864 land grant, which laid the foundation for national parks. Decades later, in the 1940s, Ansel Adams, with his modernist eye, further defined the park's visual identity. Using sharp focus and high contrast, Adams presented the landscape not merely as beautiful scenery, but as a fragile, invaluable object. His photographs were instrumental in advocating for the federal protection of these natural treasures, transforming how we perceive and value wilderness. Now, let's turn to human endeavor and the epic challenge of climbing El Capitan. In the 1950s, the formidable route known as the Prow was widely considered unclimbable. But in 1958, a team led by Warren Harding, alongside Wayne Mary and George Whitmore, proved the impossible was indeed possible. They famously employed siege tactics, spending an astonishing 47 days on the wall, spread out over an 18-month period. Their gear was rudimentary. They even used homemade stoveleg pitons, crafted from sawed-off stove legs, to conquer wide cracks. The culmination of their incredible effort was a 28-bolt expansion drilled by hand through the night, allowing them to reach the summit at 600 a.m., forever etching their names into climbing history. The Nose, an iconic route on El Capitan, is a 2,900 vertical foot ascent, comprising 31 pitches, each a chapter in its own right. Let's delve into some key sections. Pitches 8 to 11 are known as the stovelegs, infamous hand and fist cracks that were originally conquered using those homemade stoveleg pitons. Further up, at pitch 17, climbers face the dramatic king swing, a massive pendulum traverse designed to reach entirely new crack systems. Higher still, pitch 22 presents the Great Roof, a challenging 5.13c barrier that baffled free climbers for decades. Finally, at pitch 27, we encounter changing corners, considered the technical crux at 5.14 ab. This section is characterized by a smooth, shallow corner, demanding incredible friction and immense finger strength to overcome. The world of El Capitan climbing underwent a revolution with the advent of free climbing. It's crucial to understand the distinction. Aid climbing involves pulling on gear like pitons and ladders to ascend, whereas free climbing means using only your hands and feet for progress, with ropes serving solely as a safety measure to catch a fall. In 1993, Lynn Hill changed everything. She became the first person to free climb the Nose, famously declaring, "It goes, boys," a challenge to male climbers who had deemed it impossible. The very next year, Hill returned and accomplished an even more astonishing feat, free climbing the entire route in under 24 hours. The legacy continued in 2005 when Tommy Caldwell and Beth Rodden became the first couple to free the route, with Caldwell returning days later to complete it in under 12 hours, pushing the boundaries of speed and technique. From the meticulous, multi-day siege of 1958, we now arrive at the era of the Speed Wars. This chart dramatically illustrates the reduction in ascent times on El Capitan. What took Warren Harding's team 47 days in 1958 was reduced to 17 hours and 45 minutes by Bridwell, Long, and Westbay in 1975. And in 2018, the incredible duo of Tommy Caldwell and Alex Honnold shattered all expectations, completing the climb in a staggering 1 hour and 58 minutes. This broke the sub-2-hour barrier, transforming a vertical expedition into an extreme sprint. This often involves dangerous, simul climbing techniques, where both climbers are moving simultaneously on the rope. While incredibly efficient, it carries inherent risks, as a fall by one climber can potentially pull the other off the wall. The 2025 climbing season on El Capitan continues to push the boundaries of what's possible, showcasing incredible talent and dedication. We saw Connor Herson, while impressively studying full-time at Stanford, achieve the fastest free ascent of the Nose, completing it in just 9.5 hours with no falls. On the Dawn Wall, considered the world's hardest big wall route at 5.14d, Belgian climber Sébastien Bert completed the fourth free ascent. This was a monumental 14-day winter push, battling icy conditions to reach the top. And for an impressive youth record, Will Moss completed the youngest in a day ascent of the Nose, clocking in at 11 hours and 48 minutes, demonstrating the rising generation's prowess on this legendary granite. The spirit of exploration and solo endeavor also shone brightly in 2025. Solene Kentzel accomplished an incredible feat of rope soloing the Nose, alone over 3 days, meticulously self-belaying every single pitch. On the demanding Premier Wall, Amity Warma repeated the 33-pitch route, rated 5.13 candelas, an impressive achievement where she led every crux pitch despite facing challenging storms. Proving that untouched stone still remains, Oliver Tippett established an entirely new route. His solo aid line, Cardiac Arrest, rated V5.8A3, demonstrates that even on such a well-known face, there are still new challenges and discoveries to be made for those with the vision and determination. Beyond human achievement, El Capitan is also home to a breathtaking natural spectacle, the firefall phenomenon. Occurring in mid-February, this event is a fragile convergence of specific elements that miraculously transform water into what appears to be fire. For this magic to happen, the snowpack must be sufficient to feed Horsedale Fall, the temperature warm enough for a good melt, and crucially, the skies must be perfectly clear. Under these precise conditions, the setting sun aligns just right, backlighting horsetail fall and creating a stunning natural firefall effect. This spectacular illusion evokes memories of the historic, human-made embers that were once pushed off Glacier Point, offering a truly unique and ephemeral visual treat. El Capitan stands proudly at the heart of what became the first public land trust in American history, established way back in 1864. Today, the enduring challenge for park management is to delicately balance public access with the critical need for preservation. This involves implementing strategies like crowd control. For instance, reservation systems are now in place for popular events such as the Firefall, specifically to prevent riverbank erosion caused by large gatherings. The overarching goal is preservation, maintaining the ecological integrity and the profound silence of the park, even as it draws millions of visitors annually. It's a constant effort to protect this cathedral of nature for both current and future generations. To better understand the terminology we've used today, let's quickly review some key definitions. A monolith is a geological feature consisting of a single, massive stone, like El Capitan itself. A pluton refers to intrusive igneous rock that has solidified from magma deep underground. Free climbing is a style where climbers use only their hands and feet for upward progress, with ropes solely for safety. In contrast, aid climbing involves pulling on gear, such as pitons, bolts, or ladders, to ascend the rock. 2. Red point, a route means to free climb it from bottom to top without falling, typically after prior practice. And finally, a pitch denotes a section of a climbing route, generally equivalent to the length of one rope, which is typically between 50 to 60 meters. As we conclude our journey, we reflect on El Capitan, a constant presence throughout deep time. It began as molten heat, was then revealed by the relentless work of ice, immortalized through art, and repeatedly conquered by the sheer force of human will. Yet, despite the dizzying speed records and the crowds that gather to witness its splendor, the stone itself remains magnificently indifferent. El Capitan is more than just a rock, it is a sanctuary of vertical geography, a place where, if one looks closely enough, they can still find and experience the profound silence of light. Thank you.